Hello and welcome to the Queen from Queens podcast. I am back on the podcast every week. Yeah, I already know the deal. Every time I come here, it feels like it's been like forever since I came here and recorded. But honestly, I come here once a week, so it shouldn't feel like that. I'm back on. This is our 7th episode. I have 3 more episodes and season 2
already.
Yes, right.
It's going quick.
That's what KP said. And season 2 is over. Like it was. Honestly, this season was special. I can't wait to recap at the end of it and just give you guys a little breakdown. And just, stay tuned. I have 2 promos coming out. Maybe 2, definitely 1, but maybe 2. KP, what's good?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm well. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Working.
You're looking amazing.
Thank you.
You ready to work?
Of course, always.
Always
Ready to work. Like,
always.
For real.
I knew it. Are you excited for the promo? Heads up,
Yo.
KP is gonna be in my QFQ promo.
That's why I'm so excited.
That we're
That's crazy.
recording next week.
Do your viewers know what he looks like?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been on an episode.
Oh yeah, he was on
that's
this
right, that's
episode.
right.
Yeah.
You are on an episode, and maybe some people don't. Ooh, that
Maybe.
would be so mysterious.
Yeah.
Boom.
Cause I was gonna say like they
Right?
just heard his voice. They don't know. They're gonna be like, oh, I didn't expect him to look like that.
True. Very true.
Well, I'm glad you're here tonight, KP. Thank you so much.
I'm always happy to be here.
Well, what I'm really excited about, I'm excited every episode, but like this one is a little special because I love you, Mel.
I love you. I'm so honored to be here.
Thank
Seriously,
you.
I'm so excited.
Mel or Melissa? Are we being
Mel,
linked
I
in?
prefer Mel
Okay.
because only my friends and family call me Mel.
Oh, okay,
And
cool.
so it makes me feel more comfortable. I feel like Melissa's more like formal.
I was just gonna say, are we gonna be LinkedIn or are we gonna be Instagram? Like, which one we're being tonight? All right, Mel it is. So Mel, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Of course, I wouldn't miss it.
I had to have you. Like, you are always been that just sweet girl. Like, you've never given me a bad vibe, and like tendencies with some women, like they can really just before they speak, you already know that. It's an awkward situation, but like I've never had that with you.
A lot of women are just petty.
A lot.
To me, it's like, what's the point of that? Like, women are supposed to uplift each other.
Right.
You know what
exactly.
I mean? If we don't, then who will? So why am I going to sit here and tear somebody down when I could just uplift you and we could both succeed, you know?
Right. And I don't believe in like the mean girl stigma. I don't really believe in that. Like, I believe being a nice girl goes a long way. Like,
100%.
Like,
yeah.
being bougie and having an attitude, I don't believe in that.
I agree, though.
I feel like that's such a fraud like behavior, you know what I mean? But like you've never given that vibe that like you're unapproachable, which I really appreciate. How are you?
I'm good. I'm healthy, first of all.
Thank God. Praise
Survived
him.
like a whole pandemic that we're still in.
Are we still in a pandemic? Like, are we considered to be in a pandemic?
You know
still?
what? I thought so, but people don't act like it, so I don't know anymore.
Yeah, people don't act like it. I don't know, because like isn't that like a state of being, like being in a pandemic? Like, the state of the world is in a pandemic. Are we still in that state? Like,
Technically, yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of
so.
like
Are we still quarantined
spread
or
and
no?
stuff, we
No.
should be.
I mean, we should be.
With the way things are looking, we might need to be, but I don't think it's gonna happen just because businesses can't afford to.
Yeah, last time was rough. We will definitely get into like the pandemic because I feel like I spoke a lot about it last season, but I kind of like trailed off it this season. But I still think it's super important because some of the things we're going to talk about tonight, maybe some emotional things, stem from the pandemic. So definitely going to get into that. But other than that, how are you?
I'm good.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
No, for
You
real.
too, as always.
You. Girl, stop.
I just been working. Just moved into our first apartment.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
So maybe a little recap for people that don't know you, because maybe a lot of people that watch do know you. Mel and me know each other from the past. We went to the same school at one point, and she dates a really, really, really great guy that I know that I'm friends with. Him and his brother, red face Brandon, which is here tonight. Don't try to be slick, Brandon. He's gonna be in the bloopers, so y'all gonna see a little Brandon. What's up, Brandon?
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for letting me borrow Mel for the night. Can I keep her?
Yes, you can.
He doesn't mean that. He does not mean that. Oh, girl, you can come home with me. That should be a vibe. Should be a vibe at my house for sure. All right, pedaling back to the pandemic. It's been a year, right? Or in some change.
A little over,
a year and some change. Very serious time. Honestly, when I look back at that time, I feel like I started a new life. Like there was a pre-pandemic life and then a post-pandemic life that like I feel like I've done a whole like 360. And it's weird. And I didn't realize it at first. And then when I took a step back and kind of compared these two lives, I'm like, wow, a lot has changed and a lot has happened. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, 100%. Because imagine like being trapped in the house for so long, you have nothing but your thoughts. Yeah. So it can become depressing. It can become like make you anxious. But to be honest, like if you come out on the other side of it stronger, like, you know, that's at least something positive came out of it.
For sure.
At least it wasn't completely negative. You evolved, you turned into a better person. Maybe, I mean, I know so many people who during quarantine started a business. And
right here, right? I started a business during quarantine.
I mean, it's incredible.
It's true.
And a lot of people wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for quarantine.
It's so true.
So you don't know what thoughts and what ideas can come to mind when you have so much time to yourself.
That is so true. But that can also be a negative thing.
Yeah.
You know? How was your quarantine? Give me a little breakdown on how you spent it, how you felt.
Okay.
She said okay. You know when you start with the okay, it's like...
So the main thing that I was really doing during quarantine was reading. I read so many books, like throughout how long were we in quarantine? Like 8 months?
Yeah, probably. Give or
so
take.
I read 15 books.
Wow.
In 8 months. I feel like I definitely could have read more. People read more.
Yeah.
But
that's a good start.
But I hadn't actually had time to sit down and actually read since I was like in high school. Because when I was in college, I was working and it was just hard. I couldn't do something that I loved to do anymore. So during quarantine, I read and I read and I read, and it's like an escape from reality. So it kind of kept me afloat during quarantine, because when you read, you can go somewhere else, you know?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't in my room anymore. I was inside of a book somewhere. So that really helped. And also I was still living with my parents at the time. They recently moved to Florida, and they took my dog with them.
Oh my God, I hurt for you.
Oh my God.
A dog love is like totally different, like for real.
But my dog helped me get through quarantine a lot too.
That's super great. I hear a lot of pets were very useful during quarantine because some people were completely alone, like in their apartment.
I can't imagine. I cannot imagine.
Me neither, but like a part of me is like I would like it for like a month, and then after
after
that is done,
I mean 8 months.
Like, oh no, I'm done. Like, you know, because at first I feel like everyone had this, like, I want to call it like a timeline in quarantine. It started right, and everyone's like, yeah, like we don't gotta go outside, no work, we getting unemployment, we inside.
Remember when they were giving that extra $600 a week?
Oh girl, I was
remember. Like, keep it coming.
Nah, for real, that was a time for real. And then like it started declining. They're like, no, we're actually locked in our house and we can't even see the people we want to see. Like,
that was scary.
It's a reality check for real. Like, it's such a like there's people that couldn't see their families or like their friends, and like I really went crazy. Yeah, I'll give you a breakdown of my quarantine for real. I worked out almost every day. That's when I started working out too. So what we touched on before, how like a passion can be built out of quarantine. That's so true. That happened as well. I also read a lot, not as much as you though, not 15 books. I binged a lot of shows.
Oh yeah. Oh, who didn't though?
You know what show I can never watch again because it reminds me of quarantine?
Tiger King?
Yeah. Mel, get the fuck out of here.
Is that what you were gonna say?
Curse on my podcast, because that's exactly what I was gonna say.
You see, we're right here.
I cannot watch that show. I can't even like think about it. Like,
but doesn't it feel like you watched that like 3 years ago though?
No, it does.
That was
it
like
feels
a year
ago. No, it does feel like forever ago. But like it gives me this bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah,
like
that was like the height of quarantine though when that came out, and it's like these people are so crazy.
So crazy.
When you thought it couldn't get any worse, it just got worse and worse.
It was a good show though.
I didn't watch it.
You never watched it?
No.
It's hilarious.
I suggest you watch it at least once. It's
I'm
weird.
I'm heavy into anime, so
okay.
You know.
So
Maybe
you probably
it's not
wouldn't
your
like
vibe.
it.
It's probably not your vibe.
Not
But
really.
KP, when I'm telling you, these people are country,
I saw clips.
Oh man.
but like country with a twist. Like, I don't know how to like describe it, but they do have issues.
No, I saw
For
clips.
real. No, for sure.
I definitely
issues
saw
are
clips.
involved.
She definitely killed that man.
Allegedly.
My theory is that she fed him to a tiger.
Oh, no,
I
for
really
sure.
think
Yeah.
that. Because how
For sure.
how can you
Where-
prove that?
Right. And they never found him, right?
No,
Yeah, never
I don't
found
think
him.
so.
Mm-mm.
She
Never.
tried to say he went to like Costa Rica or something like
Yeah,
that,
girl.
and
Costa Rica.
He took a long vacation.
No, for a fact. But a lot of good things from quarantine, like, you know, spending time with myself. I definitely wrote a lot of poems during quarantine, which I really appreciated, which I spoke about on the podcast a million times. But a lot of negative things. I feel like at that time I was going through a little situation. So the best remedy for me when I'm going through something is going out, you know, and like getting my mind off it. But like I didn't even have an option to even like go to dinner, like, or even like sit down, you feel me? Would you say you're outgoing or like not, Mel?
I'm both.
Okay.
So
Explain.
it depends on the situation. So I do think of myself as a social butterfly. If I'm put in any situation, I could make a friend. I will make a friend and I'll find a way. But if I walk into a room and like I'm by myself, I don't know anybody, it's kind of like, oh, I'm kind of uncomfortable. Like
Yeah.
everybody knows each other and now I'm just here. But I don't know, as long as I have a friend with me, then I can kind of ease my way into it. But if I'm by myself, it's kind of like, meh.
It depends.
Yeah.
You got to read the room.
Exactly. Yeah.
Key number 1 to life, read the room, people. Like, reading the room dictates how you act. Like, and I'm a big believer in that as well. So when you say you're both, I can definitely relate, because there are times where I just want to be home for the night and I don't want to go out. I don't want to be around people. But there's times where it's like, nah, I got to make it a mission to go out tonight. Like, you know.
I feel that.
You feel me? But it's also like a lot of people use going out as an unhealthy way to get over their problems. Like, you know, go out, I don't know, maybe
drinking.
There you go, to the club and stuff. So like it's important to make healthy decisions for a fact. And when talking about healthy decisions in quarantine, I feel like I made the most unhealthy decisions during quarantine.
You.
Girl.
I told you I gained 20 pounds during quarantine.
Honestly, I told Mel she looks amazing. Like,
Thank you.
The booty, the thighs, the everything. I'm here for it. I love it.
I need to just
But what do you mean, like, you gained 20 pounds? How did that happen? Give me a breakdown.
girl, I was just eating. I was using food as a coping mechanism during COVID. During quarantine. We're still in COVID. But like, I would eat when I was bored. I would eat when I was watching a series. I would eat when I was sad. I would eat when I was hungry. I would eat when I wasn't hungry. So it's just like, and then we got out of quarantine and it was hard to break out of that habit, because now I developed an unhealthy relationship with food because it was a coping mechanism. And I would eat it when I was stressed. And it was just like, oh my God, I have to relax. And we actually bought a gym membership in January.
Love that.
I have not been going.
She said that with her whole chest. She said, I have not been going.
Brandon goes to the gym like 5 times a week.
Good for you.
And I just haven't, I commend him for it.
Why don't you go with him?
I had been. But the thing is, like, we work on different body parts. And I have really bad gym anxiety.
I feel
Really, I don't know what I'm doing at the gym.
I feel
and
that.
like, so, like, you can watch all the videos you want, but your form's not gonna be perfect the first time you do it. And if you're by yourself, like, nobody's gonna be there to correct you on it. And I had somebody at the gym come up to me and tell me, like, you're doing that wrong. You look stupid.
You're lying.
I swear. And
Someone you didn't know?
somebody I didn't know, a complete stranger. He was a trainer, not from the gym, but like he was a trainer that was working out at the gym.
Wow.
And
How disrespectful.
it seemed like he was just trying to get me as like a client, but I was like, that's not the way to
not the
do
way,
it. First of all,
yeah.
you could have just been like, let me help you. I don't want you to hurt yourself. You know, it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it, right?
And like, hospitality is everything. Like,
Right.
I'm so pissed at that.
That killed my spirit. So after that,
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I'm not coming to the gym no more. I didn't want to be here in the first place. Like, I'm out. I'm not coming anymore. And then like here and there, I'll still go. But I don't know. I need to get over it. I feel like I'm too in my head. I'm too worried about other people watching me.
That's step
Yeah,
one.
that's-
That's step one. But as someone, I don't have a gym membership, but I still consistently work out. I work out at home. I work out on my roof a lot. But why don't you start there? Start by yourself, literally, like in front of a mirror or something, and start doing workouts just like in the comfort of your own home. And then, you know, see yourself, see what's not working, see what is working. And then once you get over that hump, go to the gym and try it out. Like, I think step one is not to bleep this out, beep, what people think, because I think like you're not doing it for that guy that said you look stupid. You're doing it for yourself. Like, you're doing it for you. Like, you feel me? And at the end of the day, it's just like an outlet for you, Mel. So like, the more self-care you put into yourself, the better you feel.
I will say that when I was working out, because I had been going to the gym with him 6 times a week, and I felt really, really good all the time. Like, I just felt good because your body just releases endorphins, and you're like on a gym high. Like, from working out, your body's like, thank you. Thank you for exercising.
And you feel good just like knowing you're capable of doing something like that. Like, your body works this way. Like, you know, I recommend the gym to anybody, but I recommend just fitness. Like, because you have to be realistic. Some people can't go to the gym, or like they're incapable of it, but that doesn't mean they can't be fit. You know, there's so many alternatives, but as long as you're moving your body, that's what counts. Like, that's really what counts.
I have to tell you, so my dad is in his 60s, and he's the most fit person I know.
Stop.
Which is so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have a gym membership. He does not go to the gym. He works out 7 days a week.
Wow.
At home. Like, he made like a home gym for himself.
God bless him.
And he goes on a 4-mile bike ride every single day.
I can't even do that.
When we went to go visit my parents, because they moved to Florida recently, so when we went to go visit my parents, my dad was so excited because he bought bikes for me and Brandon, so that when we go, we could go with him on his bike rides. And he smoked us.
Stop.
Me anyway. Brandon was able to keep up, but I was in the back like, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
I can't breathe. It's hot. Like, I'm so out of shape. Like, I want to go home. And my dad's like, come on. You guys are so slow. He's in his 60s.
I think it's a mental thing.
It definitely is.
It's honestly like, it doesn't matter what age you are. Like, if your body could be like 25 and you could be 60, like, you know what I mean?
You're only as old as you feel.
As you feel,
Yeah.
like, you know. So it's really like, he must be a very positive person. Oh my God. Yeah,
you have no idea.
He must be super positive.
He's so chill. Like, if my dad is mad, if you see my dad mad, it's because you did something
It's a good reason.
Yeah, you got him mad.
Yeah,
but my dad doesn't really get mad. He's the most level-headed person I know. Like, one of the most level-headed people I know.
I love that. But we also touched on that. We said 25 is the new 50.
I told you, the day I woke up on my
Why
25th
is
birthday and my
that?
knees were hurting.
But why is that? I really go on social media a lot and see people like, my back is hurting, my knees is hurting, like, I feel so old. Like, and there's moments where I wake up and I feel so old. Like,
I do not know.
And I'm not old.
We're in our 20s. How are we going to feel when we hit 30?
I know. And that
It's all downhill.
It's concerning, but it comes back to what I said, the mental thing. Like, I think it's a mentality thing. Also, that we probably wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and it's just like, you know, but these knees do crack, so like, it can't be a mental thing.
Listen, one can only pray for Meg Thee Stallion knees. We can't all be Meg.
I know. I try. I really try. I'd be practicing. I really, really try, but she got it. She really got it.
I don't know how. Like, her
Yeah.
knees are
For
strong.
the gym thing, why doesn't Brandon just be your bodyguard? You should just like be right there, Brandon, while she's working out. Like, you know, excuse me, keep it pushing.
You know what it is? I'm very, and I can admit this, I'm very transparent about it. I'm stubborn, and I like, when he like tries to correct me on something, I'm like, no, like, I know what I'm doing. Shut up. And so that also, that also kind of affects it.
Yeah.
That's also why we didn't really work out so much together when I was in the gym, because I'm hard-headed. I don't like to be told about myself.
You gotta be open to criticism.
Yeah.
Mel.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
true.
thing.
No, it is true.
Let me tell you, when I first started my podcast, some people had not so nice things to say, but like, they weren't trying to be malicious. They were just trying to guide me. And now I look back at what they said and I fix those things, and I see that my podcast looks like, you know, better from like that bad criticism. And at the time, did I take it personal? Hell yeah. I was like, you're not gonna tell me what I have to say and how I say it and all that. But you got to be open to feedback. Like, actually, fun fact, we're gonna take a little step. when I recorded the episode with Brandon posted it on his Instagram, and somebody Brandon knew said this mean comment about me. Said like I said too much or something.
Who?
Like, you know, I don't know. I don't remember at all.
I'm gonna go back and look.
No, he deleted it though. That's how real Brandon is. He deleted it.
But he deleted the comment.
Yeah, he deleted the comment, and I don't know. The guy said that I said too much, something like along those lines. I don't remember. And I commented back, and I'm like, you know, this is my podcast. Like, you know, I really am comfortable on it. So sometimes I just, you know, use my everyday language on the podcast, and I'm like, but thanks for your feedback. And like I just killed him with kindness. Like I remember I did reply. Do you remember? You probably don't. Yeah, I don't know who it was. I don't remember who it was, but like it's funny, and I just recently thought about that situation too, because that's when I felt like hurt, like,
yeah,
you know. But like before I replied, I thought I could be a real bitch, or I could be real professional and get my LinkedIn on, and you know,
and be the host of QFQ, like
right, you know, and like just take the criticism and keep it pushing. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, I don't know that man, you know, but
I'm sure that
the story,
if he didn't say that, you wouldn't have tried to work on it, right?
And now I don't say as much, right. For sure. He definitely put that in my head. You see, so don't take like what people say as bad things. Like half the time what people say, it's personal, like to themselves. Like they're reflecting what they feel on themselves. Like, you know, like you've ever met someone so negative, they're probably negative because their life sucks. Like not anything to do with you, but it's just so like true. Personally their life just sucks, you know. So like you gotta worry about you and do you know. That's true. But I love that we sidetracked a little. That was a good sidetrack, gang, for real. I love that.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Quarantine. So we're gonna double back on quarantine. So Mel, I don't know if you remember this. Last time you were here last year with Brandon, you spoke to me that you have anxiety, and then I had told you that I also have anxiety. My anxiety, and as is yours, is very different, and I always talk about how like anxiety is so broad, and sometimes when you tell somebody you have it, they're like, what is it? And you you can't even kind of explain it at times
because it's different for everyone. And so your answer might be different from mine, right?
But it's like, am I nervous? Am I fearful? Am I surprised? Like, what am I feeling, you know? And it's hard sometimes, like, that's why they call anxiety the invisible disease, because, you know, you can't get a clear picture of it. You can't get an x-ray of it. Like, it's just literally something you feel. And I read that more than half of Americans have anxiety.
I think it's one of the most common mental health disorders.
Definitely.
I think so. Right next to depression, maybe?
Yeah, probably, for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy, the statistics on it. It's just like, whoa.
It is so crazy. Yeah. But I kind of want to touch it for the viewers tonight. There's probably 1 million people that watch this podcast or just know us personally that deal with anxiety. So maybe some tips and tricks. Maybe we could talk about our journeys. But yeah, what has it been like for you? And how long have you had it?
So I was officially diagnosed at 16. But I think I've just always had anxiety, to be honest. I remember my first panic attack at like 11 or 12 years old, and like say like, what does an 11 or 12 year old have to worry about, right? But you know, it's just, I like to describe anxiety as like a wave, because you can go a really long time
without it,
and you can be so good, like you're good, you're in the right place mentally, like everything is great, or you can be really, really like low, like having panic attacks every day, scared to leave the house, like worried about something that happened 3 years ago or something that hasn't even happened yet. And my anxiety manifests in like a lot of what if thoughts. I don't know if it's like that for you, but I'm always like, oh, well, what if this happens? And what if that happens? And what if this doesn't go my way? Or what if I look stupid or blah, blah, blah? And it's like, I actually had a therapist one time tell me, okay, what if it does happen? And I couldn't answer her because I'm like, well,
what if it does?
I don't know. She's like, well, are you going to die? Are you going to drop dead? And I'm like, I guess not. And that really put things into perspective for me. Because I feel like with anxiety, you're always on edge. And at least me, like I'm always on edge. I'm always worried about something. I'm always thinking about something. I'm always like criticizing myself. I'm really hard on myself. And it's crazy because the things that I say to myself, I wouldn't say to another
else,
person,
yeah.
right? And it's like, why do you do that to yourself? You're supposed to love yourself. And I've been on this years long self-love journey, like learning how to actually love myself, because and actually it started during quarantine, now that I think about it. I came to the realization that I don't think I've ever really loved myself, which is really sad when you think about it, right? Like, I've always been like insecure and had like confidence issues, and I think it stems from anxiety. And so during quarantine, I kind of just tried to like reflect on that and try to get in touch with like who I really am. And, you know, if you don't love yourself, you're not going to allow anybody else to love you. And my mental health disorders have really affected my relationships, my friendships, my relationship with Brandon. Like, it has had some negative effects on my relationships. And so like, when you realize that you are the problem, you can do the work that you have to do in order to get better.
Yeah.
You know?
I think you just gave such a great summary, Mel. Like, for real. Let's start from the beginning, because that was a really good summary of like literally what anxiety can be and what it can even touch on in your life. You said you had a panic attack when you were 11 and 12. Did you know it was anxiety?
No. And let me give you a little story about that.
Yeah.
It started as like chest pain, which I know now to be heart palpitations, right? Like when you have a panic attack, your heart is pounding and it feels like you're having a heart attack. I don't know what that feels like, but that's the best way I can explain it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I was hyperventilating, and I was like 11 or 12. So my dad panicked. He was just like, oh my God, like something's going on. He called an ambulance. And I went to, the EMTs came to the house and they put like something on my chest just to monitor my heart. And they were like, everything's normal. I don't know. They took me to the hospital. They did a bunch of tests. They're like, you had a panic attack.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh
Do you
my
remember
God.
what triggered it?
I don't remember. It probably nothing, to be honest.
Yeah, just a moment of doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that you explain anxiety as a wave, I so agree. There are times where I go months without anxiety and I think I'm good. I think I'm in the clear, you know, but surely enough, it creeps back up somehow, some way in like this point in my life that I may be stressed or something different may be happening, like change or something along those lines. I think that's such a great way to put it, like a wave, because so many people go with this period, they think they're okay, and then boom, it hits them. And if you're prepared, that's great, but sometimes when it just comes out of nowhere, it could be rough for sure. And I'm so glad you're on your self-love journey. I have been on my self-love journey, I must say, like 3 years, and you never get off it. Never ever get off it. You just add more years to it, because the love never stops, you know what I mean? You always have to put that work in for yourself, you know. And it's little things like taking time away from people and having a bath, like, you know, or
getting a pedicure,
or like, I don't know, some people might think this weird. I don't think this is weird. I love going to dinner or lunch by myself, like to a restaurant and sitting there by myself.
I did that for the first time recently.
I love that.
And the reason that I had never done it before that was because I thought it was weird. I'm like, I'm gonna sit here by myself and like have nobody to talk to, like just like stare at people eating. But to be honest with you, it was awesome.
It's amazing.
Like, I didn't have to keep up a conversation with anybody. I could just enjoy my
your
food.
Yes.
Just look around and observe people. And it was awesome.
So the trick is, for it to not be weird, put your AirPods in and like listen to a podcast, listen to music, or I'll listen to like an episode of something and just have it there, or, you know, just so like I'm like entertained, and I'm also people watching as well. But I literally love going to dinner by myself. I don't think it's weird. And I find it strange. I think it's an anxiety thing that people think it's weird, or like a safety thing maybe, but it's not really unsafe.
I like the movie theater alone.
I love the movie theater.
I've never done that either.
Oh, you have to do that. Oh, girl, you just sit there.
It's a
Nobody's
vibe.
talking to you. I don't gotta cuddle with somebody, like, you know, because when you went on a date, you kind of gotta cuddle. You feel me? But that's the best. The movie theater vibe. That's for sure. That's a great. But back to the self-love thing. What are you doing to make yourself feel good? Like, what are the tips and tricks? Give me a little.
To be honest, it starts with my self-talk. That's where it starts, because I don't just suffer from anxiety. I also suffer from depression, which is It's chronic depression. So it's something called dysthymia, which is a chronic long-term kind of depression. Like it never goes away. It's always there. So something that is associated with that is like a lot of negative thinking patterns. And it's taken a lot of therapy, a lot of, a lot of exercises to try and break myself out of that cycle, because it really becomes a habit. Like when you suffer from depression and anxiety, it becomes like a vicious cycle, because you've been telling yourself these negative thoughts for so long that you don't know anything else. So you have to, like you said, you have to actively work on it. You have to actively try to break those negative habits and negative thinking patterns. So for me, my self-love starts there, like telling myself, you're not useless and worthless. You are worthy, you're strong, you're capable, you're able, and I think that's really important for everyone to tell themselves. And I love seeing those videos of people saying those things to their kids and having their kids repeat it, because that's where it starts, and
for sure.
I mean, I intend to do that when I have kids in the future.
Yeah, for sure. I think word is very powerful. Like word itself is very powerful. So whatever you say to yourself, towards your business, towards your degree, towards anything you do in life, like that's the path that is going to go on. Like maybe we can tie this with manifestation. Like,
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, like when you manifest something, you can't be negative about it after you manifest it, because it's not going to follow through, because you're not putting that positive intent to it. You know what I mean? So it definitely starts with talking with the word. And I've never tried that. Can you believe that? I've never spoke to myself in that way, never. Maybe I show myself love in different ways, but I've never sat in a mirror and did affirmations.
But you know what? Everybody's journey is different.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that's for sure. That's for sure. I would love to. It's just like, can you make up your own affirmation? Can I just,
of course you can.
I don't know.
Like, say like, you're a goddamn queen.
Yeah, right.
Like you got this.
Right, for sure. Well, if that's the case, I always give myself a pep talk. Like every episode, I give myself a pep talk. I'm on my way here. I'm in the Uber. I'm on the bus. I'm giving myself a pep talk. Like, I'm like, we're gonna have a good episode. This guest is gonna be good. I have a good vibe. What did I say today when I walked in?
You had a good vibe from today.
I said I have a great feeling for today.
I love that.
I said I have a great feeling for today. Like I did. Like I knew you were coming, so I knew it was gonna be amazing.
I
was
agreed.
so excited.
To
come today. I was thinking about it all day, looking forward to it all day. Like, yay!
I know. I was so excited just to see you. Like you're always a good time. So I want to switch gears a little bit. So I'm so happy Brandon is here. You know why I'm happy you're here, Brandon? Because before we started, I asked Mel if it was okay. I talked about your guys' relationship because I wanted to ask her what's the secret to a long-term relationship. So I'm glad you're here so you could listen to, what she has to say. She's going to be nice, I
He's
promise.
nervous. He's like sweating over there.
No, it's all positive things, So give me a little backstory about you and Brandon.
So Brandon and I, we started like talking, I guess, not officially dating, when we were 17.
Wow.
So babies in we were seniors in high school. What happened was we both didn't have prom dates, and we were like in the same friend circle. So we're just like, hey, you want to go to prom? Okay. And that's how that happened.
I love that.
And then we started talking more, and then started to like each other. I was 18 when we started dating. He was 17 because we're, I think, 4 months apart.
Oh, she's older than you,
Yeah,
Brandon?
a cougar.
Ooh, heard you.
But that's how that came about. So
I
we've
never
been
knew
together
that.
ever since.
I never knew that part. I love that. High school sweethearts. My parents are high school sweethearts. And I just love that whole dynamic. My brother and his wife are high school sweethearts, and I guess I skipped the gene, but you feel me? I skipped the gene.
You got something else in store for you.
I don't pressure that too much, you know what I mean? But I remember you guys in high school, believe it or not. I remember you guys like being little flirty. Like I remember all of that. I remember Matt and you guys, all three of you guys together. I remember all that, and it's like
I vaguely remember too.
And it's so crazy because I've always followed both of you on social media and tried to keep in touch, you know, through that way. And I've seen you guys grow through the years. And honestly, I love that. I love seeing long-term relationships. I love seeing two good people together as well. Like, that really does make me hopeful. Not, you know, like, it's real. Love is real.
Mm-hmm.
Could you believe that?
100%. Yeah, 100%. And it's not easy. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie like, oh, we're perfect. We have the best relationship.
Right.
We never fight. It's hard.
Yeah, and I don't exempt you guys from that because you guys aren't perfect. But like, still, there's like foundation, and that's the first step to anything is foundation. So this is what I've thought about this question. Like, what is the secret to a long-term relationship? I really wanted to ask you. I've been wanting to ask you, like, privately even. Like, what is it?
I feel like there's no one answer. So there's a lot of things that come into play when it comes to having a successful relationship. And we're so young, so I don't have all the answers.
Yeah, of course.
But for us, I think what's kept us together, number one is love, obviously. We love each other. We care about each other. That's number one. But communication and understanding is so important in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because if you're not communicating with each other, then you're not getting to the root of your issues, and you're not, you know, trying to understand each other. Compromising is also really big.
People don't ever talk about that. You have to compromise.
You have to.
Yes.
You have to, because people have this like
it's my way or that's it.
thought that like you have to agree with your partner about everything.
Yeah.
And you're two separate individuals. You can never agree on everything. You're always going to have like, not always, but you'll have differing opinions on certain things. And so you have to meet in the middle. And if you don't, then one of you is going to be unhappy.
That's so true.
That's something else that's really, I feel like, important. Also, forgiveness.
Another one. Nobody ever talks about that. You have to forgive your partner. You can't hold it over their head forever. Yes. How do you feel like you work on that one? Because I think I have a problem with that personally in my relationships in general.
It takes a lot of work. The thing is, like, if you really love somebody and you really want to make things work, you don't have a choice but to forgive them, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, what else is your option? You know what I mean? And again, we're not perfect.
Yes.
I was 18 when we started dating. I had been holding grudges for a very long time over his head because, you know, we had gone through some stuff, and I would hold it over his head. And that's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair to hold something over somebody's head, especially if you decided to forgive them, because that, if you're holding a grudge, you didn't really forgive them.
Yeah,
you're just throwing it back in their face when it's convenient for you. And
you're
it's
just
like,
saving face, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. So forgiveness is really important.
Key. And I feel like that's universal. And you know, forgiveness isn't never for the other person. It's for you, you know.
100%.
For you
I
to
agree.
be set free, you know what I mean?
agree.
Like, can you, from being in a long-term relationship, what's the number one lesson you've learned from it?
Oh God.
And you started so young, so I'm pretty sure you've learned like something from being 18 to now. Can we say your age?
I'm 25.
25 from 18 to 25. Always ask a lady that.
Oh no, I'm not ashamed. Wow, I never thought about that before.
I know, right?
Wow, you said what's one thing I learned about myself, or in general?
In general. If it's from yourself, that's even better. What have you learned about yourself? That's the most important lesson, right?
Wow. About myself, I learned a lot. Brandon's helped me really come to a lot of realizations about myself,
the key,
actually. Yeah. Because I have so many struggles with my mental health, I feel like he really has played a major role in my support system. So he's always had my back. He always is super positive, and he's like, you know, you can do this. You can, you know, don't ever talk down on yourself. You're so hard on yourself. Like, let's just do this. Let's get it done. He's gotten me through so much. Wow. It's a little crazy to think about.
I know. You guys literally grew up like with each other,
did.
you know?
Yeah.
And that's super special.
I feel like that's also why, though, a lot of relationships that start so early, a lot of high school sweethearts don't make it because
they can't grow.
You're so young and you have to understand, I'm 25 now. I'm not the same person I was when I was 18.
For sure.
So
neither is Brandon, though.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, we're not the same people.
Yeah.
So every day you're falling in love with a different version of each other. And so like we've continued to fall in love with each other over the years. Like I'm in love with a different version of him now than I was when I was 18.
Yeah.
So it's like that's something that's
important. Yeah. Definitely have to water each other and watch each other grow. You know, that's the way to make it for sure. So for us single girls, Mel, what are some red flags we should look for when dating? Tell us the tea. What should we look for that's just like, he not the one. You know, he not the one that we gonna grow with. You know? You know, for us single girls, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Fellow single girl.
Let me just say, don't ever let a man gaslight you.
That's about
number
it.
one.
What does gaslighting mean?
Gaslighting is like, let's say you approach him about something that you witnessed him do or you saw something happen. And he kind of like flips it on you and he's like, no, you're crazy. That didn't happen. It basically makes you question your own sanity.
Definitely been a victim of that.
So, and a lot of, I don't want to say men because women do it too. A lot of people in general will gaslight, and that's so unhealthy. It's just not good for a relationship. It's not good for any relationship. Another red flag is it's like look out for pathological lying.
Duh.
Like, of course.
Yes,
I mean, obviously.
for sure. That happens often. People are liars out here. Did y'all know that?
And
especially because of the internet.
The internet is a lie. Instagram is a lie. Oh my God, for sure.
I think also pay attention to how a man is treating other women, not just you, because how a man, especially his mom, and if he has any sisters, because I believe that how a man treats his mom and sisters is how he's going to treat all women in his life.
For sure.
And so,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you have to pay
such a
attention
fact.
to things like that. Yeah.
Those are good. So y'all heard it here first. If y'all want to be in a relationship for a long time, don't look at the red flags. They're not green, they red, people. Well, Mel, thank you for being on.
Of course, I had such a great time. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. It was such a treat.
Blast.
I know, this is amazing. I feel like we covered a lot.
We sure did.
I feel like we always vibing. That's
always.
Just,
cheers.
Thank you. Any last words?
I don't think so.
Where can the people find you?
On Instagram. I don't even know what my ad is. It's Maleficent __ or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I could go on my followers and just try.
It'll be in the description.
Or that.
It'll be in the description.
I got you.
KP gotcha. KP, where can the people find you?
In the description, but at the real KP3 on Instagram, and then of course at Rec Room Studio, RECKRUM Studio.
Brandon, thank you for coming. Thank you. You want to plug yourself?
He's like, follow me on Instagram at
Follow me on
Red Face Sound.
Instagram, Red Face Sound, Soundspace Studios, Soundspace NYC, excuse me.
Follow Brandon, follow Mel, follow KP, everybody, and of course follow me. You can follow the podcast at QFQ Podcast. You can follow me at the Rismav, TheRismav. Subscribe, comment, like, watch, repost, tell your mama to watch, tell your cousin to watch, tell your sister to watch.
My mom is so excited. I was like, I'm going on my friend's podcast today, and she's like, make sure you send it to me. So hi, Mom.
Shout out to Mel's mom. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet.
My mom watches.
Shout out to KP. I shout out your mom about 3 episodes so far.
Yeah, it's pretty often.
Shout out to KP's mom. Shout out to my mom too. Shout out to Brenda's mom.
Everybody's mom.
Shout out to the moms for real.
And
Shout
my
out
dad
to the
too.
moms. That's the guy. Thank you, Mel. You've been a pleasure. Peace. Some people like talking about their relationship, and some people.
I don't mind. I feel like it's something I am proud of. Like, I'm happy to be with the love of my life. So it's like, why wouldn't I want to talk about that? You know. But some people are more like private.
Yeah,
so I get it.
Super private. But that's so sweet, though. Maybe someday, KP. Maybe someday. Be free to see.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
You can hear me? Yeah.
It's funny because Brandon is a producer and audio engineer, and I'm never like in the booth ever. So like putting headphones on and being in front of no, I've been in it, but not like that.
Shit is acting lucky. I told you he got to get you in the studio, girl. Oh my God. Oh, Mel, I'm so excited. It's not even about Brandon, I said it's all about Mel. So bring her in one piece. Thank you. Mel?
25, old. I'm a grandma, basically.
No, you're not. Oh my god, you are not a grandma.
I feel like the day I woke up on my 25th birthday, my knees were hurting.
25 is the new 50.
Basically.
I don't know what it is. Like, you see these old people on Instagram working out. Like, you've ever seen them? Like,
Yo, J-Lo?
Yeah.
Her body is crazy.
First of all, J-Lo doesn't count. She's like a cheat code.
She has a personal trainer and, you know, all that extra stuff.
I mean,
She's
all
a
celebrities
Chico.
do, but yo, she also gave birth to twins.
She's Puerto Rican.
That-
Come on,
yeah.
them jeans
It's
is
the
good. You feel me? Them jeans is good. And she's a New Yorker.
That's true.
Come on. She drank the Poland spring water, you know?
I'm crying.
You feel me?
Than like people like us, because we're like outgoing, right? I don't
We're
pay
not
attention
recording.
to things like that.
Hi, Brandon. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I would get up, but I'm all mic'd up. You feel me?
What did you get?
What do you drink, Mel?
Anything but dark liquor. Yeah, I do not like dark.
Like that.
It's not for me. The reason I don't like Henny is because I had a bad experience one time.
Everybody has one bad experience off the Hennessy.
And after that, like, it's that liquor for me. Like, I can't even smell it. I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that you trigger. That
Thank you.
It's like getting food poisoning off something, and you don't ever want to eat it again. Like, you know. Your lashes are great. Are they
Think
lift?
so?
Yeah.
These are my lashes.
Are they a lash lift though?
No.
No, just mascara. Wow, they're
I feel
really
like they're
nice.
trash.
Why?
Because they got so damaged from extensions.
Same.
Because for me, I get extensions like when I go on vacation or like a special event or something. I don't get them regularly. But then when they start falling out and like you notice you have like one long lash here
I hate
and no
that.
lashes here,
Oh,
so I just pull them out.
Uh-huh.
That fucks
You
up your
shouldn't do that,
lashes.
though.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, I've lost a couple lashes along the way. I used to have such nice lashes as a child.
You still do.
Thank you, but
lashes are
like
long.
I don't do extensions as often. And plus, I just do strip-ons. Like I love those because like I could just take them off at the
Exactly.
end of the night. No, I don't want ice.
I'll take ice.
It's okay. Oh shit!
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. You're in a blooper. You can make a feature, Brandon. It's okay.
He's like, I don't know if y'all remember me. I'm from season 1.
All right.
It's awesome.
Beautiful.
Next up is a house.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course. That's the goal. House, some kids. Can we get a baby? Like, come on. What do you think, Mel?
I'll be asking him all the time, like, yo, when you gonna give me a baby?
Ooh. Okay, who wants it for real?
Okay, I definitely want kids, but right now I kind of like,
You're in a weird stage.
yeah, it's like a weird stage because it's like, okay, if it happens now, it happens, obviously, but
yeah, thank you.
I just would rather be more prepared for it. Like,
Right,
I don't think, and like I say this to my friends who have kids all the time, and they're always like, you can never be prepared for a kid.
Yeah.
Like, nothing can ever prepare you.
Yeah.
You could have a kid when you're 16, or you could have a kid when you're 40.
Yeah,
You're never
nothing-
going to be
It
prepared.
doesn't come with a manual. Like, you feel
Exactly.
me?
Everybody's
Uh-huh.
just doing their best. So, you like, you know,
And
whatever.
obviously, it's the right person, so like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
It's
you
like, I know eventually we're going to have kids, but
Obviously.
right now I kind of like our freedom.
Yeah.
Not having
At
to
least you
spend
guys
all
are
our money.
mature enough to really realize that,
Yeah.
because I feel like people just dive into a kid. They be like, "Oh, we've been together for so long, so let's just have a kid." Like,
A lot of people shouldn't have kids.
maybe you should propose first, Brandon, and then maybe we could do the kid thing, because a wife. That's different.
I'd be trying to tell him. I'm happy
Uh-huh.
somebody else is telling him.
Uh-huh.
A wife is different than a baby
I'm
mom.
surprised
That's
you
true.
don't hear that. He don't hear that. He
That's
needs
true.
to propose to you. Come on now.
I mean,
Grade A. Hello.
It does make a
Let's start
difference.
there. Let's get a ring. And then a carriage. Cheers, everybody.
cheers.
Cheers.
Thank y'all for coming out. Let's
Thanks.
record.